92 million jobs. That's the number the World Economic Forum says will be displaced by 2030. Not by some science fiction robot uprising, by the software that exists right now. The CEO of Anthropic, the company behind Claude, told Axios in 2025 that AI could eliminate roughly 50% of entry-level white-collar jobs within 5 years. The CEO of the company building the thing is saying this out loud. But hey, race what most of the takes miss. Because the same reports that have those scary numbers also tell you exactly which jobs don't disappear. That's what this video is about. Not vibes. Not LinkedIn optimism. The actual data from the people whose job it is to track this. Before we get into specific jobs, I want to frame this properly, because the research doesn't divide the world into safe and replaced. It divides it into 3 things: jobs that AI automates, jobs that AI augments, and jobs that AI cannot touch. Most of the panic is about Category 1. Most of the opportunity is in Category 2. Category 3 is smaller than people think. McKinsey's research found that today's AI, not some future version, could theoretically automate 57% of current U.S. work hours. But notice what that says. Work hours, not jobs, because most jobs are bundles of tasks. Some of those tasks are automatable. Most of the job isn't. The person who gets destroyed is the one whose entire role is just the automatable slice. Oxford University's Fry and Osborne study, which looked at over 700 occupations, found 47% of U.S. jobs are at high risk of automation over the next 10 to 20 years. That sounds terrifying, until you realize that 47% at high risk over 2 decades still means the majority of jobs are not high risk. The question is, which side of that line are you on? This isn't a future threat. CNBC reported in September 2025 that postings for entry-level jobs had dropped 35% since January 2023. Data entry clerks, junior copywriters, basic customer service, administrative assistants. These are positions that no longer need filling because the AI handles the work. The company didn't fire someone. They just stopped hiring when the last person left. Picture Marcus. He spent 6 years as a data entry specialist at a mid-size insurance firm in Ohio. Good at his job. Accurate. Fast. In March 2024, his company deployed an intelligent document processing tool. It extracted and categorized data from unstructured PDFs with 97% accuracy. Marcus' role didn't get eliminated in a dramatic layoff. His department just quietly stopped backfilling when 2 colleagues retired. Then his role was reclassified as AI supervisor. Then that role was eliminated too. The WEF now lists data entry clerk as one of the fastest declining occupations on the planet. The full list from the WEF includes postal service clerks, bank tellers, cashiers and ticket clerks, administrative assistants, executive secretaries, printing workers, and notably graphic designers. That last one surprised a lot of people. Generative AI reshaping creative production is now moving fast enough that the WEF put graphic design on the same list as bank tellers. These aren't predictions. These are the roles employers told the WEF they're already reducing. Meet Sarah. She graduated with a communications degree in 2023. She wanted to be a copywriter. Entry level. She applied to 200 companies. She got 8 interviews. She's now working at a coffee shop. Not because she's bad, she's actually quite good, but because the jobs she was targeting quietly disappeared. Bloomberg's research found that AI can already automate 53% of market research analyst tasks and 67% of sales representative tasks. Those are exactly the roles Sarah was applying for. The junior roles that were her entry point, they don't exist at the same scale anymore. Not because hiring froze, because the work itself contracted. So what does Sarah do now? That's the question the data actually answers. Goldman Sachs tracked employment specifically for 22 to 25-year-olds. Not all workers, just that group, in AI-exposed roles. Employment in that group fell by nearly 3 percentage points since the start of 2024. That's more than 4 times the rate for the broader workforce. Now think about who we're talking about. Young software developers. The people who were supposed to be immune. Their unemployment rate rose the most of anyone in that group. The Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis confirmed the same pattern independently. Occupations with higher AI exposure, they saw larger unemployment increases. between 2022 and 2024, across the whole economy. This is not a prediction. It's not a model. It's not a think piece. It is already in the employment data. So the real question is, which side of this are you on? The pattern is clear. Wave 1 took admin and data processing roles. Those jobs are gone. Wave 2 is different. It's taking junior knowledge work. The entry points. The roles that previous generations used to climb the ladder. Those are the ones contracting now. People keep asking whether this is happening. That's the wrong question. It's already happening. The data we just looked at, that's not a forecast. That's now. So what actually survives? Which jobs are genuinely on the safe side of this? That's what the next part of this is about. It's 2 a.m. Hospital emergency room. A patient walks in, elevated heart rate, confusion, a history that doesn't match the symptoms at all. The triage nurse asks 3 questions, looks at the patient's eyes, and immediately escalates. Not because an algorithm flagged it, because something in 20 years of practice said, this is wrong. That's the capability AI doesn't have. Not the pattern recognition. AI can do that. The judgment, the accountability, being in the same room as a person in crisis and carrying the weight of that. Look at the World Economic Forum's fastest growing roles. Not percentage growth. Absolute numbers, the raw count of jobs being added. The list is dominated by farm workers, delivery drivers, construction workers, nursing professionals, and secondary school teachers. Notice anything? Every single one of those jobs requires you to be physically somewhere, or emotionally present with another human being. That's the pattern. The WEF projects significant absolute growth for nursing professionals and educators through 2030. Not because AI can't assist them, but because demand for the human core of those roles is rising faster than AI can offset it. Erase what the research actually converges on. For properties that make a role genuinely AI-resistant. For things. If your job has them, you're on the safe side of this. Number 1, physical unpredictability. Any job where the environment changes faster than it can be pre-programmed. A different room every day. A different problem every hour. No 2 situations the same. Number 2, emotional accountability. Where the human presence is the product, not just a vehicle for delivering information. The patient doesn't want a diagnosis. They want a person. Number 3, ethical judgment in gray areas. Decisions with moral weight. Where a person has to be responsible for the outcome, not just the process. AI can follow rules. It can't own consequences. Number 4, complex real-time adaptation. Situations where the rules change mid-task. Where you can't follow a script because there is no script yet. The more of these 4 properties a job has, the safer it is. Erase the part nobody in the AI discussion wants to say out loud. While Goldman Sachs analysts and junior copywriters were losing ground, electricians, plumbers, HVAC technicians, and construction workers were seeing demand rise. Think about what an electrician actually does. Every job is different. Old buildings with non-standard wiring. Customer conversations. Physical problem solving in cramped spaces. Real-time diagnosis. No 2 days the same. Robots aren't replacing this in any meaningful time frame. That's not an opinion. It's an engineering constraint. And erase the thing nobody mentions. The shortage of skilled tradespeople in the US was already severe before AI arrived. AI has made it worse. Because some of the young people who might have gone into trades went into tech instead. And some of those tech jobs are now gone. The Oxford Automation Probability Scores make this concrete. Telemarketer, 99% automation risk. Data entry clerk, 99%. Insurance underwriter, 98%. Now compare. Recreational therapist, 0.3% automation risk. Emergency management director, 0.3%. Skilled trades across the board, below 30%. The irony is brutal. The jobs that were supposed to be low status are now structurally safer than most jobs that required a 4-year degree. A plumber charging $150 an hour, with a 3-month waiting list, is not a person AI is replacing anytime soon. Erase the aggregate picture. The WEF says 170 million new jobs will be created by 2030. 92 million are displaced. Net positive, 78 million jobs. That sounds reassuring, but erase the number that actually matters. The WEF says 59 out of every 100 workers will need reskilling by 2030, and 11 of those 100 are unlikely to receive it. That's 120 million workers globally at medium-term risk of redundancy. Not because the jobs aren't there, because the jobs that exist won't match the skills they have. That's the real problem. Remember Marcus, the data entry clerk. His role is gone. That's real, and it's not coming back. Sarah, the copywriter who can't get hired. Her path forward isn't applying to the same jobs. It's something harder, a genuine pivot. Not just adding AI tools to her CV. But Hayrace, the third person this data is actually about. Not the one who gets replaced. Not the one who stagnates. The one who gets amplified. PwC research found a 56% wage premium for workers who use AI effectively, compared to those who don't. 56%. That's not a small edge. That's a different career trajectory entirely. The highest value position in almost every field is no longer the person who does the task. It's the person who directs AI doing the task, checks it, improves it, and takes responsibility for the outcome. So, which jobs actually survive? The ones that are physically somewhere. The ones where a human being is the accountability layer. The ones where the environment is too unpredictable to pre-program. And the ones where the person has learned to use AI as a lever, not treat it as a threat. The jobs that are genuinely gone had one thing in common. They were pattern matching on data you could already describe. If that's most of what your job is, the data says it's already happening. If you want to follow how this plays out in real time, the actual capability research, not the hype cycle, the link is in the description. If you like so far, continue to next video for further information. And like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.